800-951-0592. A quick look here at the markets. The Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ, they're all down, but not a lot, fractionally down. Gold's down 10 right now, 11. Man, 11. That would have been, I don't even know, what, 10, 12 years ago, 11 something in gold. 1992 on gold. Silver, $25.10. This market recap, brought to you by our good friends at YRefi, right? Another one of those things. If you just want out of the rat race, it's a good idea, right? Hey, take some of those assets and check out YRefi if you've got $50,000 or more, and how these guys work. And we've talked about this, and this is all distressed student loan. These are people that this is private. This is not the government stuff. So this is not the Joe Biden debt forgiveness stuff. This is the private loans. A lot of these are kids. It's so ridiculous. How do you lend an 18-year-old with no job $50, $60, $70, $100,000? But they do it. A lot of these had co-signers. The private loan market, they don't play any games. You graduate from college 30 days later, they want a payment. And a lot of these people ended up in default early. Right? Hey, whatever. Maybe when I came out, the job market was just dead, right? When I graduated college and there was a recession going on or there was a pullback or whatever it may have been, COVID, right? I just couldn't land a job for a while and they end up in default. And Jason, YRefi, they go out and they look at all these people in default and they find the ones that, man, if someone just gave these people a break, gave them a reasonable rate of return, they could make these payments. And what we found out, and after I met with Lane and all the great guys and gals over at YRefi, the majority of people that are in their program, they have the whole entire student loans paid off in 8.5 years. Paid off in 8.5 years. I got friends in their 50s that have been paying for, like, and I don't mean to laugh, but they've been paying for like 30 years. Often, this and interest and still paying. They haven't paid off, and they give you, you decide how long you can do it for, a year, 1 to 5 years. That's the commitment you're making. 1 year's at 6.25. 5 years, you get 10.25% return compounded daily. You can do what you want. You can have the interest. You can roll the interest over. You can use it as income, whatever you want to do. And if you need to end early for whatever life happens, hey, I got to get my money back. You get your entire principal refunded to you. Check them out, investyrefy.com. That's the word invest, the letter Y, REFY.com. Or just call them at 888-YREFI-24. And Jason, finally, we had a small, and I mean small, price cut this morning. And actually, I didn't even get it this morning. I actually got it about 20 minutes ago. They finally gave us a little bit of a break. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I want to give you 3 specials, which we always try to just, hey, buy this today. We like to keep it simple. We just can't do it. There's just not the volume of products out there. So let me tell you what we have. I've got 20. I know, right? That's such a sad number. 20 $20 gold pieces. These are pre-1933, right? This is the private gold at $24.25. But I've only got 20 of them. Once I get to 21, they're now going to be $2,515. Hey, here's the good news. That $2,515, that's $30 less than Friday. So I guess that's good news. But I've only got 20 of those. Buy those first because that's the best deal. Next best deal. I've got 50 $10 pieces left. I knew this was coming. Right? The 10s have been the star. They've been, the 20s have been really tough to get for a long time. But now we're down to the last 50 10s here. 1 through 9 at $12.25. 10 or more at 12.15. So that puts, if you bought 10 or more, that puts you at 24.30, just a little bit more than a 20, but still real good value on gold. So those are my two gold specials. 2020s at $2,425, right? That's a huge savings there, a $90 savings there. And then the last 50 of the 10s, 1 through 9 at $12.25. If you go to 10 or more at $12.15, silver, $50, forget about it. I mean, I can get them. They're a fortune. Silver Eagles. Listen, silver's at $25. It was $26 on Thursday. It's down $1. My price hasn't changed at all. Not at all. Silver Eagles right now. Case is $20,500. Cheapest in San that's the cheapest around. Rolls at 8.25. Remember, we were selling 5-ounce silver bars. They're gone. Can't get them. Gone. Today, I have some 10-ounce silver bars. I don't know how long these will last, but if you're looking at silver and you're saying, what's my cheapest entry point, this is it. 10-ounce silver bars at $310. $310, that's $31 an ounce until they're gone. 800-951-0592. And Jason, I think that's just going to kind of how it is. We've got a little bit of a pullback here. Everyone's getting ready for what's going to happen in a couple weeks. I highly recommend buying it before that meeting because I think they're going to open that door to not having to raise rates anymore, Jason.
Every day is a good day to put yourself in gold and silver, but I would say 2023, every year though, over the last few years, it just gets more and more important to put yourself in this. I'll say this, the metals programs people have done a really good job because you got a mix of people in there, people that know what they want and they know gold and silver pretty well, but then there's a lot of people that just really don't understand gold and silver that much. They need to use a trustworthy dealer to get the product in their hands, and they don't want to think about it. So that's a great, the metals programs people, whether you want to use the program or not, it's a great way of doing it, which is pay yourself first, put that money away into gold and silver every month, save. If you're not saving money, you're jeopardizing your future by not saving, because savings is only delayed spending. It's spending in the future. Got to get yourself some gold and silver, which will hold the value of your savings for as long as you hold it, right, Joe?
Yep, and none of these, I hate it, but it's just the quantities aren't there. None of these are available at this price online. So if you want this price, you have to call. I apologize about that. 800-951-0592. Jason and I are coming right back. (800-951-0592). Joe and Jason here on this Monday. So I get a lot of people are, Joe's just saying that because he wants to sell gold. I wish that was true. I mean, that'd be idiotic of me, but I wish that was true. I wish I was telling you need to buy now because in 2 weeks they're going to open the door to not hike rates anymore. And to Jason's point, you know what happens after that? Right? They start talking about what? Cutting rates. Well, how can I be so sure? Right? How could I? What am I super intelligent? You know what? I wish I was. I've got two real smart kids. Both of them way smarter than me, and one of them is super smart. That's not me. I do a lot of research, though. I know a lot about the Federal Reserve, the money supply, the financial system. I know a lot about that stuff. And how can I be so sure? This isn't a guess. I'm not guessing. Because the last time, now I want people to think about this, the last time the U.S. money supply contracted, Jason, you probably know, right? The last time the U.S. money supply contracted, do you know that we've contracted no times since 1970? Well, I think maybe 1 month we may have got 1 month after 1971, but you got to go all the way back to the Great Depression. And this is what the central bank used to take the gold away from you and me and all of us. Because what did they want to do? They wanted to create money out of thin air. And think about, we've been on a 50-year, this is like being, I don't know, I don't smoke crack, but I would imagine, right, this is kind of like somebody's been smoking crack for like 50 years, right? First of all, I don't even know if you could go 50 years smoking crack, but chances are if you did, you're a homeless person, right, in San Francisco or downtown Phoenix or somewhere, right, defecating on sidewalks, not even sure, talking to imaginary people, barking at cars, right? This is what you are. This is what the United States has become. For the third straight month in a row. And by the way, declining at a pace faster than the Great Depression. Now, granted, obviously the economy is bigger, but from a percentage standpoint, still faster, which is important, than the Great Depression is the money supply. So when you hear, remember last week they on their minutes? Well, there's a couple people that, you know what, I think we should have stopped, but I'm going to go and vote anyway. I'm going to vote 9-0. We got to have 9-0. So even though I don't think we should have raised, I'm going to say that we should have. And then remember what they also said. Their baseline projection now is for a mild recession. How dumb do you want to be? How lazy? You know what? Dumb's probably the wrong word. How lazy do you want to be? If they're telling you it's going to be a mild recession, you can take it pretty much to the bank that it's going to be something a lot worse than that. And Jason, this is exactly what we have setting up here, right? They're trying to take liquidity out of the system. They're essentially trying to force the recession. I'm not doing it. I'm not rooting for it. I'm telling you what they've done.
I think it's starting to, they're starting to lose control of it too, Joe. I mean, I've always believed that they have some pretty decent control over these things. I mean, some say that they were losing control in 2008, but I mean, if they really lost control of it, then why were they able to bail themselves out of it? You know, they printed their way out of it. And what's happening this time and in the future is they're not going to be as successful printing their way out. I don't know if they got one more go at it, Joe. If that's what they're setting up, is one more printing spree to lengthen this out. But it will come to an end. It'll stop. All fiat currencies go to zero. It will happen. And what they are prepared to do, because they are smart enough to know, hey, in world history, this has happened before. They're trying to find their way to the new system, to move it to the next place. And I'm going to take my poker chips and move to the next table. That table is about ready to fall over, so to speak.
Yes, and this table's old, right? It's not a convenient table anymore. We need a more convenient table, right? We need the solution. Remember, they did this before in 1933. The solution was take the gold. Guess what the new solution is going to be? Take your Federal Reserve notes. Hello? Are you home? Are you listening? What happened to the price of gold after they took it? Just months later. It went from $20 to $35. What do you think is going to happen to your Federal Reserve notes when they take them? Hey, what used to cost you $20 months later is going to cost you $35. And actually, with the debt, probably going to cost you $60, $70, it may even cost you $100.
Well, Joe, it's interesting because one of the reasons, I get people that still doubt the digital currency. There's so many people that are doubting the digital currency. they're going to do a digital currency. And just for the simple fact of this, even if you want to say that the bankers aren't nefarious, that they're not criminals and self-worried, they actually think that if they can have the digital currency, they can force the spending to be exactly what their printing needs it to be. Yeah, they print it, and then they force us to spend it a certain way, Joe, and then they can continue to print so that they won't have a deflation, and they can control these recessions. That's what they think, Joe.
When we get back, how much is all that debt costing? Well, the Treasury just told us, and it is shocking. That's coming up next. (800-951-0592) Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. I know you get, hey, maybe it's going to go lower. I can pay less. It's not happening. There's not enough product out there. It's just been incredible. Today, we've got to run 3 items, and we're limited on all of them. 2020s, $2,425. So put it this way, gold's not going to fall $100. You're just not going to get there. The 10s, we're down to the last 50. It breaks my heart because I'm like, oh, at least we had the 10s when the 20s were so expensive. We got 50 of those. They're $1,225, 10 or more, $1,215. Silver, right? We're out of silver halves. Silver eagles are a fortune. 5-ounce silver bars, which we've been running for the last, couple of weeks, they're all gone. We got some 10-ounce silver bars. They're $310 for 10-ounce silver bars. None of these will be online because there just isn't enough availability. Call and get them put away. 800-951-0592. And Jason made a really great comment before the break talking about, hey, I don't think they're going to be able to do the same trick that they've done for 50 years, which is, hey, let's just blow up the money supply, right? We just talked about how they keep contracting. Let's just go in further into debt. Well, we've already got $40 trillion. We already got that. On the $32 trillion or so that the federal government has. As of March, which was a couple weeks ago just ended, $800 billion in interest, and before the year ends, we will now be paying over $1 trillion a year just in interest payments. And Jason, here's the problem. The deficit is blowing up again. And of course, if we go into some type of recession, you know what they're going to want to do. Let's blow it up even more.
Correct. And here's one thing about the Fed. Here's the one thing that the Fed has never had control over. We talk about how much power they have. They've never had the control over the average American's spending habits. They've not had that yet. So if they want to print trillions of dollars and they want to make sure that it fixes the things they want it to fix as far as the spending, a digital currency gives them a brand new power. This is why they have to have it, Joe.
Yep. And listen, all of you big savers out there, the banks don't pay any interest. But, hey, you like it because I've got 100,000 or 200,000, whatever it is, 500,000. And you know it every month. Doesn't matter. You somehow say, I don't care about inflation. I still got $200,000. Not with the digital currency, you don't. Right? If they want you to spend it, hey, guess what? We're now going to hit you at a negative rate. They can't do that today. They can do it then, though. And what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to move my money out. That's right, you are. Go spend it. Right? Go find some type of debt instrument to buy because we want you to spend that money. This digital currency is incredibly dangerous. Forget about we're going to lose freedoms. Of course we're going to lose freedom. We always lose freedoms. That's how it works. This is control of epic proportions. Any type of stimulus check, yeah, it's going to come with an expiration date on it too, right? Hey, you've got until May 15th to spend it. And whatever you don't spend, yeah, That'll be eliminated from your account, right? That's the type of stuff they're going to do. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back with the half-empty cup. Don't touch that.